Being welcomed to New Zealand with a Maori greeting ceremony, an ancient tradition still used to greet dignitaries today.
A visa-required village with fewer than 50 residents, a street too steep to safely park on, and women popping the question to men. This is New Zealand, where the rules of the world bend in the quirkiest ways. But don't blink. The strangest surprise comes at number 1, where we'll unveil a greeting so personal, it'll make handshakes feel cold. These are the 16 mind-blowing facts that make New Zealand truly unforgettable. Number 16. The land at the edge of the world. Somewhere past the last page of your travel guide, and just before Antarctica, New Zealand sits quietly, bold, breathtaking, and utterly untamed. Tucked away in the far reaches of the southwestern Pacific, New Zealand sits in splendid isolation, over 1,200 miles from Australia, its closest continental neighbor. It's often dubbed the faraway cousin of the modern world, quietly thriving at the edge of the map. This stunning country is made up of two main land masses, the North Island and South Island, along with more than 700 smaller islands, all scattered across a total area of about 104,000 square miles. That's just a bit larger than Colorado, but with a population so light, it almost feels like nature has more room to breathe. As of mid-2025, New Zealand is home to just over 5.2 million people, roughly a third of New York City's population. Yet here's the quirky part. There are over 29 million sheep. That's nearly 6 sheep for every single Kiwi. And yes, it's a stat they wear with pride. The population is a vibrant blend of cultures, predominantly people of European descent, the indigenous Maori, Pacific Islanders, and a growing Asian community. English is widely spoken, but Te Reo Maori, once on the brink of extinction, has made a powerful comeback, now echoing in classrooms, media, and daily life as a symbol of cultural resilience. New Zealand's landscape is almost surreal in its diversity. Snow-capped peaks, glacial lakes, active volcanoes, lush rainforests, and crystal-clear beaches, all within hours of each other. The climate is mild, with 4 distinct seasons. But here's a twist. Winter runs from June to August, flipping the calendar compared to the Northern Hemisphere. And perhaps the most magical part? In New Zealand, you don't have to choose between mountains and the ocean. You can ski in the morning and surf in the afternoon, all in the same day. So if you're already blown away, share and keep watching, because the deeper we go, the stranger and more mind-blowing it gets. Number 15. New Zealand's hidden fantasy. Ever dreamed of stepping straight into Frodo Baggins' world? In New Zealand, that dream isn't just possible, it's waiting for you. Set within the rolling hills of Matamata, Hobbiton stands as a living fairy tale, where movie magic and rustic beauty live side by side. Originally handcrafted on a 1,200-acre dairy farm for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the film set was so breathtaking, so beloved, that they didn't dare take it down. Instead, they preserved it, not as a lifeless museum, but as a place where Middle-earth still feels alive. Here, you can wander past 44 perfectly detailed hobbit holes, peek through round green doors, and stroll through lush gardens that actually grow real vegetables. There's a wooden well, hand-carved furniture, stone chimneys that puff real smoke each morning. No plastic tricks, no LED shortcuts. Everything you see is crafted from real wood, stone, and plants, keeping the illusion beautifully intact. But it's not just the setting that feels like magic, it's the people too. The locals of Matamata are some of the warmest you'll ever meet. Whether they're farmers by day or Hobbiton tour guides by evening, they'll greet you with a hearty mate, offer you a cold beer, and tell stories like they've walked through Bag End themselves. Their hospitality isn't an act, it's a way of life. Want to sip a craft beer at the Green Dragon Inn? Sit beneath the party tree where Bilbo gave his iconic speech? Stand in the very spot where Gandalf rode into the Shire? You can do all of that, and feel like you're part of the tale. Even the Maori call this area the home of little dreams, a place that rekindles imagination and innocence, no matter how old you are. In fact, people from all over the world come here to celebrate birthdays like hobbits, complete with ale, laughter, and second breakfasts. Number 14. Climbing Baldwin Street. A race against gravity. Imagine a street so steep that dropping a tennis ball sends it rolling endlessly. Welcome to Baldwin Street in Dunedin, New Zealand. Once holding the title of the steepest street in the world, according to Guinness World Records, this incline has a mind-boggling 38% gradient. That means for every 9 feet you walk horizontally, you're climbing almost 3 feet vertically. Though Baldwin Street lost its record in 2019 to a street in Wales, it regained the title in 2020 after Guinness admitted to an error in measurement. The locals celebrated by putting images of their beloved street on everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs and keychains, even pet collars. The slope is so extreme that residents park their cars sideways instead of parallel, relying heavily on their handbrakes. For many, climbing Baldwin Street feels like their daily workout, though if they're not careful, their cars could roll back down. The houses here may look tilted from the outside, but step inside and they're perfectly level. Every year, thousands take part in a race to the top, with the winner earning a special medal. In winter, the street even transforms into an impromptu ski slope. And in one memorable attempt to embrace its incline, the town tried baking the world's steepest cake, only for the frosting to slide off before they could cut it. Baldwin Street is just one of New Zealand's many quirky wonders, where the unexpected is always around the corner. If this street made you do a double take, go ahead and like this video, cause more astounding facts are on the way. Number 13. Waitomo, New Zealand's underground galaxy. In New Zealand, you don't always have to gaze upward to find the stars. Sometimes they're glowing beneath your feet. Deep within the ancient limestone of Waitomo, there's a galaxy hiding underground. These are the Waitomo glowworm caves, where millions of tiny creatures called Arachnocampa luminosa, a species found only in New Zealand, light up the darkness like a living constellation. Carved over 30 million years ago, this cave system predates even the dinosaurs. The glowworms spin delicate, sticky threads and use their bioluminescence to lure prey, and to leave visitors absolutely speechless. Tours drift through these silent caverns by boat, in complete darkness. No flashlights, no noise, just the soft sound of water and the surreal glow above, like floating through a dream or sailing across a galaxy made of silk and stars. Why do these worms glow? Scientists attribute it to a chemical process known as bioluminescence. But in local Maori legend, the glowworms are considered the children of the stars, guiding the way for a young warrior during a storm. Some say their glow is pure magic. This isn't CGI, it's real, ancient, and breathtaking. No wonder filmmakers say it's more magical than any green screen. But don't be fooled by the cave's beauty. Waitomo's dangers lurk in its shadows. The slick limestone walls can make every step a challenge, and one misstep could send you tumbling into the cold, icy waters below. In 2018, heavy rains flooded the tunnels, trapping tourists for hours, showing just how powerful and unpredictable this underground world can be. Originally discovered and revered by the Maori, Waitomo holds deep spiritual meaning and has welcomed travelers since 1889. Today, over 1 million visitors journey to this enchanted cave each year, not just to witness beauty, but to feel it all around them. Number 12. Unwind in New Zealand's thermal paradise. Have you ever unwound in an outdoor jacuzzi, perhaps nestled in the mountains of Colorado? Now picture something wilder, more primitive, and more deeply connected to nature. This is what you'll find in New Zealand, specifically in Rotorua, often hailed as the hot spring capital of the world. Here, the experience isn't just about soaking, it's about immersing yourself in nature's embrace, surrounded by lush forests and steaming geothermal waters. For centuries, the people of Rotorua have believed that soaking in these therapeutic hot springs can do more than relax the body. It's said to cleanse the spirit, relieve fatigue, and even prepare you for life's major milestones. This age-old tradition comes to life at renowned spas like Hell's Gate, where you can dive into mineral-rich Maori mud before settling into a cedar tub with a view of an active volcano. It's an experience that connects you to the land and its stories, all while soothing your soul. In some places, like Onan Hot Pools in Queenstown, you can even enjoy a traditional hangi meal cooked using geothermal steam, just as the Maori ancestors once did. Picture soaking in steamy waters as snow-capped mountains loom nearby, the Remarkables stretching in front of you. It's a scene that feels straight out of a fantasy novel, like something you'd find in the world of The Lord of the Rings. For many couples, this is where magic happens. Engagements, anniversaries, or simply a special moment under a sky full of stars, all while relaxing in a wooden tub filled with the Earth's warmth. With prices ranging from $30 to $60 per visit, you're not just paying for a bath, you're purchasing an authentic journey back to nature, a chance to reconnect with the Earth, your spirit, and your loved ones. So, what would you choose? A polished 5-star hotel, or a soothing soak in nature's own wooden tub? Share your thoughts as we explore more mind-blowing New Zealand facts. Number 11. Wangamona, the town that went rogue. In a village where goats can run for president and bars double as government buildings, normal doesn't stand a chance. Tucked away in the remote Stratford district of the North Island, this tiny village is home to just 30 to 40 residents. Tired of red tape, they did what any bold rural town might do. They declared independence and took matters into their own hands. Yes, in 1989, Wangamona crowned itself a republic, complete with its own presidential elections, official passports, and a national holiday that draws crowds from across the country. Past presidents have included locals, a dog, and even a goat named Billy Gumboots. Campaigns are rowdy, elections are celebrated with music, beer, and lawnmower races. And every 2 years, the town throws a party that's part political rally, part country fair, and entirely unforgettable. The Government Building. It's a classic Victorian pub that's been standing for over 100 years, and it's still the heart of the Republic. Visitors can grab a cold beer, hear wild stories from the locals, and for just a few dollars, apply for an official Wangamona passport, complete with stamps. It's all legal. Well, at least within the borders of the Republic. Life here runs on old-school trust. There's no police station, no traffic lights, and absolutely no locks on doors during the day. The town's only gas station? It's just a single, unattended pump with no staff. Just fill up and pay honestly. That's the culture. Everyone knows everyone, and community comes first. The homes are charmingly rustic, many preserved in their early 20th century styles, with wooden walls, deep porches, and vines crawling over old trellises. Goats nap in backyards. Locals are known by nicknames, not titles, like Dave the Goat Whisperer or Nana the Flag-Raising Queen. Wangamona isn't just a town. It's a living, breathing time capsule of Kiwi eccentricity, wrapped in humor, hospitality, and a fierce sense of identity. If you're chasing the unexpected, this rebellious little village is ready to hand you a passport, a pint, and a warm welcome into a world where democracy is part goat, part joke, and entirely unforgettable. Number 10. The Kiwi Bird. In a world where most countries choose fierce lions, soaring eagles, or mythical dragons to represent their national pride, New Zealand said, "No, we're different." Instead, they crowned a soft, fuzzy, nocturnal bird that can't fly, avoids the spotlight, and sniffs out its dinner underground, the kiwi. This little oddball isn't just cute, it's iconic. In fact, the people of New Zealand proudly call themselves Kiwis, wearing the name like a badge of honor. But don't let the kiwi's humble appearance fool you. It's one of the most extraordinary birds on the planet. For starters, it's the only bird in the world whose sense of smell is stronger than its sight. That long, curved beak? It's a high-tech tool used to sniff out insects and worms beneath the soil, like a feathered Sherlock Holmes. And when it comes to parenting, kiwis go all in. The female lays an egg that's massive, about a quarter of her body weight, one of the largest egg-to-body ratios in the entire animal kingdom. These birds are also romantics at heart. Once they pick a partner, they mate for life. No drama, no swiping left, just quiet loyalty, shared burrows, and tag-team parenting in the moonlight. New Zealanders adore them so much, you'll find kiwi crossing road signs in the countryside, and entire conservation areas dedicated to protecting them. Want to catch a glimpse of one in real life? Head to sanctuaries like Zealandia or the wildlife parks in Rotorua. But tread lightly. Kiwis are painfully shy. Speak softly, move slowly, and let them stay the mysterious stars they are. To the people of Aotearoa, the kiwi isn't just a bird. It's a symbol of their authenticity, humility, and deep connection to the land. If you believe this oddball of a bird deserves its crown as one of the most lovable national symbols on Earth, drop a comment. Number 9. Wellington, the world's breeziest capital. Touchdown in Wellington on a December morning, and the first thing that greets you isn't a loud city buzz, it's the wind. Not a gentle breeze, but a confident gust strong enough to send your hat tumbling down the nearest hill. This is the breeziest capital in the world, affectionately nicknamed Windy Welly. But here's the twist. No one seems to mind. Locals stroll along the waterfront like they're in a calm movie scene, hair tousled, coffee in hand, unfazed by the invisible push of the air. It's just Wellington being Wellington. Step into any home, and you'll notice a charming little awning right above the doorstep, built not for rain, but for shoes. In this city, it's an unspoken rule. You leave your shoes at the door. Why? Ask a local, and you'll likely get a warm grin and the phrase, "to keep the house clean and the mind light." Wander into Cuba Street, the city's beating artistic heart, and you'll find street musicians strumming ukuleles, poets scribbling verses on cafe napkins, and impromptu dancers turning sidewalks into stages. Here, even the public art gets interactive. There's a fountain powered entirely by pedaling a bicycle. Yes, a splash of whimsy in every spin. Traffic here is less of a war zone and more of a polite negotiation. Car horns? Rare. Scowls? Even rarer. And if you're bold enough to sing on a public bus, don't be surprised if the driver waves your fare with a smile. It's Wellington's way of rewarding joy. As the sun dips behind the hills, Courtenay Place comes alive with a glow that feels more like a community gathering than a wild night out. Jazz notes spill out of cozy wine bars. Indian Maori folk melodies drift down lamplit lanes. You might find yourself sipping a glass of local Pinot, while an elderly storyteller shares Maori legends under the stars, right in the heart of the capital. And unlike other cities, there's no 6-lane expressway drowning out the skyline. No forest of skyscrapers blotting out the stars. Just a perfect blend of charm, culture, and coastline. Here, you can still hear the waves crash, smell the fresh manuka trees in the air, and remember that an ideal city doesn't have to shout to be heard. Number 8. Unique festivals. If you've ever thought festivals were just about loud music, street food, and shaking it on the dance floor, New Zealand is here to politely blow your mind. Here, festivals aren't just events. They're immersive, living art shows, where creativity takes center stage and culture is painted with lasers, drums, and flower petals. Start in the capital, Wellington, where the iconic World of Wearable art show feels more like a surreal dream than a fashion event. Imagine models strutting under spotlights in outfits made from car parts, seashells, recycled metal, LED wires, and even pressed flowers. One minute it's haute couture from another planet. The next, it's a full-blown sci-fi ballet backed by booming electronic music. It's part fashion, part performance art, and entirely unforgettable. Tickets? Gone within days, like a rock concert for art nerds. Now head north to Auckland in March, where Pacifica Festival turns a quiet city park into a buzzing village of the Pacific. Over 10 island nations, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, the Cook Islands, and more, bring their dances, music, tattoos, woven art, and street food to one place. You'll walk from one island to the next like you're time traveling through Oceania. Hungry? Grab a bowl of Samoan sapasui, or try taro chips fresh from the fryer. It's the largest Polynesian festival in the world, and the energy is contagious. Visiting around Chinese New Year? Then Auckland and Christchurch light up, literally, with the Lantern Festival. Picture thousands of glowing lanterns floating like fireflies, accompanied by lion dancers, traditional Chinese orchestras, and rows of steaming bao buns. There's also calligraphy, cultural workshops, and an entire street of stalls selling everything from hand-carved seals to durian smoothies. Over 4 days, hundreds of thousands gather to eat, marvel, and make a wish under the lantern-lit sky. In New Zealand, every festival is more than a celebration. It's a canvas of heritage, imagination, and pure creative spirit. Whether you're into futuristic fashion, island drums, or dumplings under the stars, there's something magical waiting here, and it's probably dressed in LED body paint. Loving this festival magic? Hit the subscribe button and stick around. There's a whole world of New Zealand's wildest facts waiting for you. Number 7. Volcanoes. Whether dormant, extinct, ancient, or even underwater, New Zealand is sitting on a whole lot of volcanic history. At least 83 known volcanoes across the country. The largest active one? That would be Mount Ruapehu, found in the geologically intense Taupo volcanic zone. But hey, that's just scratching the surface of what makes New Zealand so fascinating. We know, we barely even touched on the culture, and there's so much more to say. Honestly, trying to pack all of this into a single 10-minute video doesn't do it justice. Otherwise, we'd be here for half an hour, and let's be real, most people wouldn't stick around that long. Number 6. The cost of living. Thinking of moving? New Zealand might be the sweet spot for your wallet and well-being. Known for its stunning landscapes and laid-back vibe, it also offers something that's increasingly rare: a high-quality lifestyle at a relatively reasonable cost. Let's talk numbers. On average, the cost of living in New Zealand is about 35 to 45% lower than in major American cities like New York or San Francisco. In cities like Wellington or Christchurch, you can rent a cozy one-bedroom apartment for around $950 to $1,200 a month. Head to a smaller town, and that drops to around $750, with sweeping mountain or beach views often included. Basic monthly utilities, electricity, water, gas, and high-speed internet will set you back about $110 to $140. Weekly groceries? Expect to spend $60 to $80, and that includes fresh produce, local seafood, lamb, and seasonal fruits. Dining out doesn't require a financial plan either. A solid meal at a mid-range restaurant will cost you just $12 to $18, and a silky cappuccino, a smooth $3.50. Public transport here is as reliable as the sunrise, with bus and train fares around $2 to $3 per ride. Monthly passes hover between $60 and $90. Staying fit? Gym memberships run $30 to $50 per month, and even a basic dental checkup will only cost $40 to $60, less than a night out in Los Angeles. All in, a single person can live comfortably in New Zealand for about $1,300 to $1,600 per month, depending on lifestyle and city choice. That's not just affordable, that's live well and still have money for wine and weekend road trips affordable. And hey, if you're from New Zealand, have visited, or just know a ton about this incredible country, drop your favorite facts in the comments. Number 5. Low corruption. New Zealand consistently ranks as one of the least corrupt nations on the planet, a badge of honor that reflects its deeply rooted culture of fairness, transparency, and trust. In fact, it often goes head-to-head with Denmark, Finland, and other Nordic countries for the top spot on global anti-corruption indexes. Back in 2021, New Zealand earned the title of the world's least corrupt country, tied with Finland and Denmark. That's not just a statistic. It's a reflection of how governance here is built on integrity, with strict laws, independent institutions, and a strong sense of accountability across all levels of leadership. Another reason for New Zealand's clean image? It rarely makes enemies. The country doesn't possess nuclear weapons, maintains a modest-sized economy, and has a relatively small population. As a result, it tends to steer clear of major global conflicts and military entanglements. Diplomacy, neutrality, and peaceful cooperation are the cornerstones of New Zealand's foreign policy. In short, this is a nation that wins global respect not through power or aggression, but through principle, and that's something truly rare in today's world. Number 4. New Zealand, where travel turns into a wild living dream. Think travel is just about snapping pretty pictures and soaking in the view? New Zealand is here to prove you wrong, beautifully. This is a land where the adventure is not just something you watch, it's something you do. like say, helifishing. Yes, fishing by helicopter. Only in a place like the Southern Alps can you soar over snow-draped peaks and land in untouched alpine rivers where no human, or fishing rod, has ever dared to cast a line. It's not just a trip, it's an expedition. Then there's Milford Sound, often called the eighth wonder of the world, and honestly, it's hard to argue. Picture this: mirror-like black waters surrounded by towering cliffs, waterfalls plunging down like silver ribbons, and clouds drifting across the mountaintops like someone painted them with a watercolor brush. You can kayak through the mist or hover above it all in a helicopter, circling snow-dusted ranges that feel plucked from a dream. Further south, Lake Tekapo looks like it's been dipped in Photoshop. Its unreal turquoise glow catches the sunlight like a gem. But the real magic begins when the sun goes down. As night falls, the stars explode across the sky, and the Milky Way shines so brightly you won't even need binoculars. It's one of the best stargazing spots on Earth, and possibly in the galaxy. For something straight out of science fiction, visit Waitomo Geothermal Park, where the champagne pool bubbles in brilliant orange and electric blue, as if someone spilled a neon palette from another planet. And just when you think it can't get more surreal, Franz Josef Glacier invites you to hike across ancient ice, carving your way through centuries of frozen history, then unwind with a hot spring soak right afterward. And let's not forget Abel Tasman National Park, where you can spend your day kayaking beside seals, slipping into sea caves, setting up camp on golden beaches, and watching dolphins ride the waves like they're in on the fun too. In New Zealand, the landscapes don't just sit there looking pretty. They invite you in, challenge you to play, and leave you stunned in the best way possible. Number 3. Beauty without filters. If you think beauty needs makeup, high heels, or carefully filtered selfies, the women of New Zealand might just flip your idea of attraction upside down. Here, beauty isn't polished. It's lived. It's windswept hair after a hike, sun-kissed skin from a day on the waves, and a glow that comes from fresh air and freedom. From Wellington's artsy cafes to Queenstown's alpine trails, you'll meet women in hoodies and hiking boots, driving muddy trucks, catching solo waves at dawn, or leading yoga flows by the fire under a starry sky. They often skip makeup, rock their natural curls, and move through the world with a confidence rooted in the land they love. New Zealand women were the first in the world to win the right to vote back in 1893, and that trailblazing spirit still shows. They rank high in gender equality, value independence, and many run businesses from off-grid cabins or manage farms tucked into Emerald Hills. Especially in Wellington, you'll notice a refreshing twist. Women are often the first to say hello. They might strike up a chat at a cafe, offer a trail recommendation, or give you a g'day mate that makes you feel right at home. And yes, they're often open to international love, if you're kind, authentic, and down for a life of shared adventures and barefoot mornings. As we near the end of this episode, we want to hear from you. What's your take on beauty beyond the usual filters and glam? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stick with us as we near the end, where we'll reveal New Zealand's most unique traditions, the gentle nose-to-nose greeting. Number 2. Food paradise. If you've always assumed New Zealand's food scene begins and ends with lamb chops and meat pies, you're in for a flavorful awakening. This island nation is more than just stunning landscapes. It's a hidden culinary gem blending ancient Maori traditions with fresh, world-class ingredients and global influence. Let's start with hangi, one of the oldest and most beloved Maori meals. It's not cooked in a kitchen, it's buried. Yes, really. Wrapped in leaves and nestled beneath the earth, meat and root vegetables are slow cooked over hot volcanic stones. There are no pans, no flames, just steam, time, and tradition. The result? A smoky, melt-in-your-mouth feast that locals affectionately call underground barbecue. It's more than a meal. It's a community ritual that tastes like history. Now, if you're in the mood for something more upscale, paua might catch your eye. This rare black abalone, with its iridescent shell and crunchy bite, is often grilled or stir-fried in a garlicky glaze. It's a delicacy so visually stunning that it's used in jewelry, and so delicious that it's often reserved for special occasions. Then there are the green-lipped mussels, plump, vibrant, and found only in New Zealand's pristine waters. American tourists can't get enough of them, especially when they're steamed in white wine or baked with herbs, garlic, and bubbling cheese. They're not just food, they're edible souvenirs of your trip. Craving something more daring? Try kina, or sea urchin, often called the caviar of the Pacific. The Maori prefer it raw, fresh from the shell, while modern chefs craft it into elegant sushi bites that melt like butter. And of course, no New Zealand feast is complete without roast lamb. Tender, succulent, and packed with flavor, it's usually served alongside crispy potatoes and a signature mint or rosemary sauce. This isn't your average Sunday roast. It's a celebration on a plate. To finish on a sweet note, there's pavlova, a national treasure. Imagine a meringue dessert that's crisp on the outside, cloud soft on the inside, and piled high with fresh fruit like kiwi fruit, strawberries, or passion fruit. Light, colorful, and as dreamy as a New Zealand sunset. And to wash it all down, grab a cold bottle of L&P, short for lemon and Paroa. It's a tangy, citrus-packed soda that's so iconic in New Zealand, the town of Paeroa built a giant bottle monument in its honor, right in the heart of town. This isn't just a drink, it's Kiwi pop culture, carbonated. Number 1. The Maui Culture. In a world where handshakes and small talk are the norm, New Zealand offers a greeting that's far more intimate and unforgettable. Here, among the Maori, the indigenous people who make up around 16% of the population, respect and connection begin with a hungi, a gentle nose-to-nose touch that signifies an exchange of the breath of life. This isn't just a ceremonial gesture, it's a profound welcome, a moment where two souls acknowledge one another as equals. It's how you're not just greeted, but accepted. For many visitors, especially from fast-paced cultures, it's a surprisingly emotional moment, a quiet reminder that being seen and included can be as simple as a shared breath. And the surprises don't stop there. In traditional Maori culture, it's not unusual for women to propose. During ceremonies, a woman might offer a handcrafted bracelet or woven token, a symbol of her intention to build a life together. In Maori love stories, romance flows from equality and choice, rather than societal expectations. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it leaves many Westerners quietly in awe. You'll find Maori communities most commonly in rural regions like Rotorua, where everyday life follows rhythms rooted in the earth. Here, families often span 3 or 4 generations under one roof. They cook together using hangi, an underground steam cooking method that infuses meals with warmth and meaning. Food here isn't fast, it's sacred. Storytelling happens around firelight, not phone screens, and hot springs are bathtubs gifted by nature. Every gust of wind, every bird song is believed to carry messages from the ancestors. It's a culture that doesn't just live in the present, it honors the past in every step. Before big occasions, you might witness a haka, the traditional Maori dance performed with fierce passion. It's more than a performance, it's a declaration. We are here. We remember, we belong. In New Zealand, culture isn't confined to museums or tourist brochures. It's in the soil, the breath, the rituals, and the invitation is open to anyone willing to greet the world with heart. And with that, we wrap up our journey through 15 mind-blowing facts about New Zealand. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.